Hello everyone at the Chelsea Fans Channel, and thank you again for the 50,000 subs. We really are touched. It's time for the transfer talk. We have to put everything aside and focus because there could be an incredible raid on Arsenal. But before we get to that, Amadou Diawara, I believe we're going to sign.
Yes, so the papers are telling us, Roy. He's an exciting young midfielder, plying his trade in Bologna Serie A at the moment.
Okay.
And yeah, he's from Guinea. I mean, I don't know loads about him. All I know is he's a very exciting prospect that the Italians rate very highly.
Do you know what? Maybe we could ask our friends. If anybody's watching, actually, our friends Rossinieri TV, I know that you sometimes watch this. If you could shed any light on this guy for us, we'd be really interested to hear what you have to say. Amadou Diawara, currently at Bologna, young, exciting. You know, we've done a bit of research, but anyone who's watching this who knows more about him than we do, comment below. Let us know what you think.
Yeah. I mean, this is. Bit more info on him. He was under investigation when Jose was our manager, but that doesn't seem to have affected us being interested in him still. Now that Mourinho's gone, Chelsea is still interested in him, and reports are that our people have been talking to his people this week. So this could be a goer.
Okay, that'd be good. I think there's a little bit of bad news regarding the return of the King of Munich.
There is. After our excitement of last week when we had Dan Levine in talking about the prospect of getting Didier back, today's papers are shooting an arrow through our hearts on that one. Apparently Hidik has come out and said he's given up hope of Didier coming back, at least this year. You know, they were trying to make it work with Montreal, his current club. Montreal, you know, obviously didn't really want to let him go early. He was contracted. He kind of basically promised them that he'd play for them for 2 seasons. Right. They've tried to be accommodating. I think they've tried to work out a way, but basically it's not going to happen. Okay. Didier is going to be a Montreal player next year. Well, I think their seasons go from, I don't know when they go from, but no, they finish in November. Okay. So by November, we could sign him again. March to November. Right. Is with the Canadian year.
So we could get hold of him sort of in about a year's time, just under a year.
Early Christmas present.
Early Christmas present, lovely. So we're not going to get him, but we have tied a few other players down to the club. I believe that Ivanovic has been offered a new one-year deal.
Yep.
Ruben Loftus-Cheek is going to be sewn up.
Yes.
Which is great news.
It's great news. It's great news. I think we're all very excited about that. That's almost like getting an exciting signing in a way, isn't it?
Yeah,
Having a player of Ruben's calibre nailed down for the next few years is great news.
I think that people and Chelsea fans generally have been so upset with the board for this season. Generally, you know, from our disastrous transfer window during the summer through this season, and people have really been upset by the board. I think this is something that the board have done that should be celebrated.
Yeah, definitely.
Keeping hold of our young talent is essential, and I'm delighted they've done it. Keeping hold of Ivanovic is also good news. I think it's good to have him around the club. He's a winner, and I'm sure that his form will return, or at least I hope it does.
Come on, Branagh.
And this should spell good news for John Terry getting another deal, shouldn't it? Just thinking about it.
Yeah, definitely. You know, as we know, Chelsea don't offer over 30-year-olds anything more than a 1-year deal. But I can't see any reason why we wouldn't offer JT another 1 year. I don't think he'll get any more than that, same as Lampard and anyone else. Yeah. But there's no reason at all why John Terry shouldn't get one, I would say.
I completely agree. Now, for the big one, this is quite exciting. We obviously gave Arsenal a leg up in their pursuit of the Premier League when we gave them Petr Cech. There's a way in which you've concocted a way in which they could be returning the favour.
Yeah, and do you know what? I think this one would hurt them even more than we were hurting losing Petr Cech.
Really?
Yeah. So rumours are that we might, and it is a very spurious one this, but we might nick Alexis Sanchez off Arsenal.
What a player.
What a player. So this is reports that George Sampaoli?
Right, he's the Chilean manager.
He's the Chilean manager. He apparently is head of Chelsea's long-term wish list in terms of who to come in to replace Hiddink at the end of this season. You know, his name is very much up there in world football at the moment. He led Chile to the Copa America last year. So he's a good manager, and apparently he's top of Roman's wish list. And reports are that George has said he wants to come, he wants to get out the Chile contract, and I think he wants to come to Chelsea. But his caveat is, I'll only come and be your manager if I can sign Alexis Sanchez as my first signing.
That would suit me. I'd love Sanchez. I rate him very highly. I know Arsenal fans love him.
I would love that on two phases. One, because you know,
He's a great player for Chelsea.
he's
Second,
the bee's knees.
it's a V sign to these lot.
Exactly right. However, it does have a little element of dodginess about it. The report I read, it sounded a bit like this George guy is putting a gun almost to Roman's head and saying, if you know, the only way I'm going to be your manager is if you go and sign Sanchez. And whether that's the way you deal with Abramovich, I'm not too sure.
No, I assume it isn't.
No,
I assume Mr. Abramovich doesn't react kindly to that sort of thing. But it could be a good move, and if he's guiding Chile to the Copper is certainly no mean feat. And equally, we know how good a player Alexis Sanchez is. So I'd be open to that one. Comment below, let us know exactly what you think. And remember, if you like this video, why not click the subscribe button? Got any Blues? Welcome to today's edition of the Transfer Talk. There is some massive news involving Real Madrid, Paris Saint-Germain and Eden Hazard.